Guys, the Hutts are on Tatooine. They have a plan with Boba Fett. What is it? Guys, Chris and Rob here. We're talking about what the Hutts possibly are going to do now that they have basically stated their claim to Boba's reign in Mos Espa. So, Rob, what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to work with people who we already see as players? Are they just going to keep it to themselves? Where are we going with the twins?
So what I think we're going to get this back alley political criminal drama. What I mean by that, guys, I think it's going to come into the Hutts, which look like two twins connected into one giant Jabba the Hutt tail. Really very weird. And Boba Fett. And it's going to go to, each of them are going to go to various crime figureheads within the city and kind of get you to be on their side or on Boba Fett's side. So it's like either you're either Team Hutt or you Team Boba Fett. It's like Jacob and Edward all over again from Twilight. It's the same thing.
Never saw it.
Well, people like one versus the other. It's the same concept. All right.
Gotcha. Yep.
Right?
Got that part.
So pretty easy to figure out. So what I think I think the Hutts are pretty much going to be forcing people to be like supporting them, like blackmailing them. I think the mayor's in their pocket. I think Garza Whip is also in their pocket. Believe it or not, I actually think the mayor called the Hutts to come down to this place and say, hey, listen, you got some weird Mandalorian guy here saying he owns the place. He took over your cousin's palace. You better go kill him and take over your throne, and then we can work things out.
Yeah, I can totally see that. My thing with Garza Whip is that in the first episode, she seemed totally okay with Boba.
Yeah.
Right? Almost like too okay with him coming in, where it almost seems like she could be running her own thing by herself, and she's probably a lot smarter than she's letting on.
100%.
And knows a lot more than she's letting on. The other side is, nah, screw this guy. Like, Jabba's gone. I'm going to work with the mayor. We're going to screw this guy over. I right now think it's the mayor, though. I think he's clearly lying. I think he hired, the assassins of the Night Wind. I think he's the one who possibly called the Hutts to be like, hey, just wanted to let you know this guy's in the seat.
Here's a question. They mentioned a line, right? Like, Fennec Shand says if you want to kill them, you have to get permission. Yes. So I guess that means they're protected, like mob protected. So there's obviously like somebody above. I always thought Jabba the Hutt was like just him on this planet. But now learning this and watching this episode, I'm like, oh, there's this bigger crime organization at play. There's obviously somebody at the top of the Hutts that like is protected, is like the Godfather essentially. Do you have any idea who that is? I know nothing.
As Qui-Gon said, there's always a bigger fish, and I think that's the case here. I think Jabba had to answer to somebody. My one big thing right now would be possibly Crimson Dawn. Crimson Dawn hasn't technically gone away. It wouldn't be, Darth Maul. He was, by the time Rebels has happened, this is way after that, and he's already dead. But in the comics right now, there is a kind of a 3-part Crimson Dawn situation happening in the regular classic series right after Empire Strikes Back. And Kira is back. So the character that was played by Khaleesi herself came back and is kind of regaining that power that Crimson Dawn lost after Darth Maul died. So she was basically holding this massive auction. She had somehow secured the frozen in carbonite Han Solo and was auctioning him off to the highest bidder, which is just so cruel as the ex-girlfriend. But that situation could carry over to now, and Kira has possibly regained a lot more power, maybe in the Outer Rim with a bunch of Hutts, and that's sense. Where you would have to get permission from to kill them. That could be one. The other is whoever that symbol is that we saw on the Nikto ships and what they put on the moisture farms. Clearly, they're already involved with something on the planet, right? So, to me, that has to be some type of connection to maybe another organization we don't know about, or possibly know about that could come back. I don't think it's Death Watch, which was a Mandalorian-specific thing, like Mando thing on the planet Mandalore. But my biggest guess right now, Rob, would be Crimson Dawn if it's someone outside of Tatooine.
I think it's going to be someone outside of Tatooine because the Hutts came from off-world. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why I'm thinking some bigger character play. Do you think now that Boba Fett's going to go and ask permission to go get them killed? Or do you think Boba Fett's going to do like the political side? Like, I'm just going to get everybody on the meat. They're going to respect me, not fear you. And he's going to win in that retrospect instead of just outright killing them.
I don't think they're going to try to kill the twins initially. I think Boba's going to kind of take the seat of, right? Like, how many times have we heard it in the commercials, in the trailers, right? I want to lead with respect. My name is Boba Fett. And I think that's the case he's going with because of what he learned with the Tuskens. I think that's the person he wants to be, where he's not just shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
I think he's going to kind of prove what he's done so far, which isn't much right now. It's 2 episodes. But he's going to prove later on, say, hey, like, I came to you, I treated you, I protected you, I did this. Like, they're the ones trying to kill me. Whose side are you on? You know what I mean? That's going to be the kind of tilting point. And I do think him and Black Chrysanthemum are going to go at it in the most epic
100%.
like the Mountain versus, like, you know, the Viper in Game of Thrones. It's going to be just one-on-one fight to the death almost. Maybe this is where Black Chrysanthemum dies, maybe it's not, but it's going to be ridiculous.
I really like that, and I want that to be the case, but Chris, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be Fennec Shand takes him out and kills him.
What?
I think it's going to be, you know, one guy's right-hand person versus the other guy's right-hand person, and that's what it's going to be. I could see it being like a surprise attack in Boba and him fight for a little bit, but I think the biggest battle with Black Chrysanthemum is going to be him fighting Fennec, and I think it's going to be a build up to that, and then one of them is not going to walk away with their lives.
I mean, either way, I'm good, but like, everyone's going to want to see Boba fight him, right? Like, it's going to be that. I still think it's going to be Boba. I think Fennec is going to be dealing with other stuff, maybe like figuring out, like, maybe she's the one figuring out all the political stuff, gathering people behind the scenes, while Boba is, because Boba still has to be there, right? If you're not in the chair, someone's going to take the chair.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be part of the problem, where Boba can't technically leave the city. He has to have kind of his guards and Fennec do that while he's dealing with stuff here. Or maybe, you know, maybe Fennec does fight him and, like, you know, she gets thrown and knocked out, and then Boba has to step in and, like, knee gauntlet him in the face or something. I don't know how you introduce a character like Black Chrysanthemum
and not have Boba fight him.
Have him fight Boba. It's a waste. So
yeah.
I got to go against you on that one. I think Boba's going to fight him 100%.
Last question. Do you think the Hutts hire more bounty hunter gladiators from that world to come onto that planet to fight Boba Fett and Fennec Shand and all this kind of stuff?
That would be an interesting one. You know, there's a lot of shots of those, like, lizard race people on Tatooine when they're walking. That reminds me of Bosk, who is also a Trandoshan. That's what the race is called in Star Wars.
Okay.
And he is a bounty hunter. Now, canonically, if he's still alive, that would be great. I know he's in Rebels a little bit. He's obviously in Empire Strikes Back. That's where you first see him. But he has no love for Boba or Wookiees either. So he would kind of clash with Black Chrysanthemum and obviously Boba Fett, because Boba always gets the best bounties.
Of course.
But that would be an interesting character to bring in. I think what everyone wants is live action Cad Bane. I think that's the one where we're all like,
oh, yeah.
Give me that. Just give me the cowboy hat. It's already the Western feel. You got the dust and the sand. You have the sun's beating on you. Imagine a Cad Bane sighting in real life. Fennec's already gone against him in Bad Batch.
That's true. That very true. I was just saying, we saw him in Bad Batch. Live action would be great. Have all these bounty hunters in one thing. I think Cad Bane would be the best choice. I think if you bring Cad Bane in, like you said, it fits the Western theme. If you bring Cad Bane in, now they're bringing him in my mind. In my mind's canon, if they don't, they wait.
It's already done. It's done.
It's going to be Cad Bane versus Boba Fett. No, it's not, because Cad Bane and Fennec are going to have a rematch.
I think that would be I think that's how Black Chrysanthemum and Boba would fight if he was fighting the rematch against Fennec.
Because you want a rematch more than you want to see. Oh, yes. Like, these two sniper, like, shooters go at it.
But Cad Bane never dies, so, like, no. He's still alive. And then, you know, Boba has to deal with him. But, like, this Hutt situation is obviously going to be the crux of the problem within this show.
Oh, yeah.
Which I kind of like, right? It was, like, we thought in the first episode it was, like, the random mayor. But now it's like, no, the mayor's just part of the issue. Like, this whole thing is an issue. And I'm interested to see how it goes down the chain of command if the Hutts are even kind of controlling the mayor.
Well, they had to give somebody, like a notable villain, right? Like, everybody knows who Jabba the Hutt is, right? So even if it's, like, adjacent to them, it works better for the story and works better for people who aren't in the nitty-gritty of Star Wars, reading the books, reading the comics, or who know everything. It makes it more palatable for the everyday viewer and the everyday audience. But guys, we want to hear your theories down in the comments below. What do you think the Hutt's plan is in Boba Fett?
And guys, thanks so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Like, really helps the channel out a lot. If you do subscribe, turn on those notifications. You don't miss any more of our Book of Boba Fett talk. Of course, we're going to give it to you every single week. A new episode comes out. And if you missed any videos, make sure you check them out right here on the channel. And as always, I'm Chris Heller. That's Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew. And we will see you next time.